The first part of our system in Nspire Institute, by way of Nspire Network, is to ask. It's our power question. It's a piquing interest question. And the beautiful thing, and I love what Mr. Demond Crump says, is yes, I want you to be systematic, but I don't want you to be robotic. What he means is, yes, this phrase that pays works, and it will work for people that you have a relationship with, but it may not work for your closest of closest friends. And here's how the question goes. You simply have some rapport and a relationship with an individual, someone that you know, and your conversation after of course, you're on the phone and you guys are dialoguing, and you simply ask them, hey, there's something I got to ask you. If you had information that could possibly save your life or the life of a person you love or care about, would you share it? And of course, they're going to probably say a number of different responses. Yes, or what is it? Or what are you trying to pitch me if this is a very close friend? And so if it is a very close friend, I always just tell them, hey, there's something you got to see. I can't explain it. And they're probably going to ask me, Ramon, well, what is it? No, you have to see it. And every time I've used that approach with people that I'm very close with, I send them directly to step 2, which is the video. And today I'm going to break down the different videos that I use. For men, I use the Demond Crump video that's on YouTube. For women, I use the Cherish video. But for people that have a short attention span, there is a Cherish video that is on YouTube that's only 5 minutes long. And that's the video I send a lot of the executives that I've had an opportunity to rub shoulders with, because the 20-minute Cherish video is a little too long for them. Their day is already short as it is, and they're doing me a favor. In fact, they're doing themselves a favor that they don't know. But in this relationship, they're doing me a favor by taking some time out to watch the video. So the last thing I want to do is give them a video that's 20 minutes long. And so we're going to talk about that later in the training, but that's the next step. And then you got to set a date and time to follow up with them. Hey, let's get together and talk about what you liked. And notice my wording. Let's get together and talk about what you liked after you watch the video. Say tonight, or when do you think you're going to watch the video? And they say tomorrow. Well, let's get together tomorrow evening around this time. There's a very, very successful gentleman in business that he's going through the process right now. And I've done this exact approach with many, many people, regardless of their income bracket, regardless of their experience in the industry. And it's been very, very successful. And so now when we're back on the phone after that, after they've watched the video and I'm following up with them, there's, one of two conversations. But my first response is, what did you like best? Because that's really what I want to know. I don't want to know what they would change or anything of that nature. I want to know what they like best. And they're going to give me a response. And I've gotten many responses. Man, I like the product. Well, great. I'm going to talk about the product. Well, they talk about is there an opportunity attached to this? And then I'll talk about the business. Or they say, when can I get my hands on the product? If they make that statement, I'm not talking about the business. I'm doing everything that I can to secure them as a customer, and only a customer, until they move themselves from a customer to a distributor. And, if they say, if I'm not in the position where I'm able to answer a lot of their questions, let's say I don't have the experience that I have. Well, my goal when they show interest in doing the business is to put them on a 3-way call with my upline. But here's how I have to set it up. I have to build a level of respect for my upline. I just can't say, if Sheila is a person that I've shown the video to, I've piqued her interest, she's shown interest in the business, and I say, Sheila, you've got to talk to Demond. No, that's just not going to work. That's not going to create the level of respect that is needed for Sheila to give this the adequate attention that is needed. And so what I'll do is I'll say, Sheila, there's a gentleman that I have a lot of respect for that is extremely successful in this industry. In fact, he's helping people right now that will become multiple 6-figure earners. And his time is very, very limited. But he did let me know that if someone was interested to the caliber and the level of success that you've had, he could spare 5 minutes or so. What 2 times are you available? And I'll make one of those times work with Mr. Crump. And I always use Mr. or Ms. or Mrs. to build another level of respect for my upline. And then I'll set up the 3-way call. And then once I put the 2 on the phone, I sit there and I listen idle. I put my phone on mute and I'm taking notes, even to this day, even with all the experience that I have. So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is to promote the events. And this is, of course, after they've made the decision to join and they want to be a part of it. I just brought in another young man, Charlie Andrews, out of, he's in Georgia, but he's going to the Savannah meeting today. Because here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to get people all excited, all engaged, and not get them to that next level. Because there's a principle. We get them in, we keep them in, and we move them along. Well, getting them in, of course, is through the process of piquing their interest and showing them the video. Keeping them in is getting them to an event. And that's going to help them buy into the belief of the vision. Yes, you're going to be able to share it with them. They can feel your passion. They can feel your energy. And if you're in, close proximity in the same room as them, they can see it. But when you get them to an event and they hear those testimonials, you get them to an event and they meet a Sheila Washington, you get them to an event and they meet a Lisa, you get them to an event and they hear these testimonials from the group in LA or Denver or Arizona or, Atlanta, wherever. What happens is now they've bought into the vision. They've heard you. They've felt you, but now they see more people and there's more social proof. Now you couldn't cut them out of this business with a 2x4 or a crowbar. They're going to do this business without you. And that's, of course, what we all want to build, a solid foundation, but it's based on these 3 steps. Everything that I show you today, none of it works without this system. None of it will be effective. None of it will stick long-term without this system. I've been fortunate and blessed to build teams of over 20,000 around the world. It took me 5 years or so to build that foundation and to get there. Well, I believe we'll do that, half of that in 30 days here because of the timing of the industry, because of our unique product that is a disruptor in many different fashions, as well as our compensation plan, but it's the vision. It's the vision. It's the movement of now we know. That's going to move so many people that would have never done network marketing before, would have never, had opened their home up and had home meetings, would have never jumped on conference calls, would have never come to an event or events like this. That's what's going to move them. And that's why step 3, step 2, step 1 equally are all important. But the events are going to build a very solid foundation for you and all your entire team. If your goal is to build a 6-figure income or higher, plug into every single step. Do every single step. Do not miss one. And go back to this replay or go back to the replay of any leader that is teaching these steps so that you can get refreshed and teach it to your group over and over and over again. And don't think that you're beating a horse or a dead horse, as they say. Don't think that you're beating a horse by doing it every single time. No, you got to do it every single time. You've got to teach this to your group and have them teach that as well. So let's talk about understanding the power of the pay plan of Nspire Network and how to maximize your income potential. Well, here are the 3 starting positions that you can get started with: $99, $299, and $499. And there's something called CV, which is commissionable volume. That's what you're paid on. So when you see a 99 pack show up, it won't show up as $99 in your binary. It'll show up as 67 CV or $299, $210, or $499, $351. Every starting position, it doesn't matter, which is a great thing because you don't have to, front load yourself with product. If you don't need the product, you're all going to get 10% payout in the dual team. Now, as you rank advance, which is your total group volume is over 1,000 CV, now you can earn, you can get a pay increase of up to $300 a week. The sweet spot in our compensation plan is called STAR. And we're going to go in depth into how to go STAR mentally and physically, so you understand how to create a manufacturing plant that's producing stars every single week. In some cases, it'll be every single day. Where now, after your group has done 5,000 in volume, your total group, not you yourself personally, you get a pay increase to 15%, and you can earn up to $750 a week. This continues to move up. The next most important spot is called Megastar right now. That's 25,000 in volume. And as you can see, it's only 5 people in your group going star, right? Because 5 times 5 is 25. And now you can earn up to $3,500 a week. I believe there will be some mega stars that will be earning 5 figures every single week. Some very high 5 figures, because I'm going to break down how that's going to take place through the compensation plan. But you can go from megastar to rock star to diamond, and you can see the volumes increase. And that's the volume that's required for your entire team, not just you personally, but you can also see the percentages in the binary go up, and you can see the weekly income go all the way up to Dynasty Legend, Legends Dynasty, where it's required that you and your group do a minimum of $3 million in a 30-day or 31-day or 28-day calendar month, right? But now you're getting 24% out of the binary, and you can earn up to $200,000 per week. And see, I'm going to show you how to go star, and everything comes out of going star and teaching people how to go star. But I'm also going to teach you how to go megastar. I'm also going to teach you how to go Legends Dynasty. I'm going to teach you the basics, that structure plus numbers plus volume plus pin equals a big check. If you focus on the pin, if you focus on 3 million, that's probably going to be a little intimidating for many people. But if you focus on the structure, the numbers, and the volume, the pin will come by default. So will the income. Focus on the structure, and I'm going to break this down. Focus on the structure, and the numbers and the volume will come by default. And that's how you're going to create a star manufacturing plant where you're producing stars every single week, some of you every single day, but for sure every single month. And you're recognizing stars, and that will move you to megastar, rockstar, diamond, and of course, Legends Dynasty. Now let's talk about this dual team and how this works and how you're paid, because this structure right here is the most aggressive structure in all of network marketing. It's one of the most lucrative structures. It is definitely one of the most exciting structures, because as you get involved and you start to see people underneath you and you haven't done much, that can be pretty exciting. At the same time, you got to do your part. You just can't get in and sit idle and expect all these people to come underneath you and start cracking the whip on everyone and checking up on them every single day and say, what did you do today? Now, nobody wants to be bossed around. No one wants to be told what to do, but everybody wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves. No one wants to be told what to do, but people will do what is necessary when they see the vision of the company and the vision that you promote throughout your team. So let's talk about this dual team. Dual team meaning 2. And see, you can see the percentages broken up to each side equally, because that's how you're paid out. If you're earning 10%, you'll get 5% from each side, but you'll be paid 10% of the lesser side. If you're paid 15%, 24%, you can see the percentages break down, okay? Let's look at what's required for you to receive a dual team check. It's very simple. First thing is you've got to join with one of the 3 business packs yourself, whether it's, $99, $299, $499. This is to receive a dual team check. Now, if you just want to receive retail commissions, no, you don't have to buy one of the packs. You could just start, buying product and selling it, or sending people to your website after you paid for your $35 annual renewal fee for your website. But if you want to earn commissions from the dual team and other aspects of the compensation plan, you must choose one of those 3 business packs. Second thing is you must introduce at least one person on each side, one person on the left, one person on the right, regardless of who's in your binary already. Let's say on one side, you haven't put anyone into the system and there's already 24 people there. Well, did you personally enroll someone on that side? If the answer is no, you must personally enroll someone on that side, on the left side and the right side. And you must maintain a monthly minimum of 35 CV, which is very doable. In some companies, the requirement is a lot higher. This is in order for you to receive a dual team check. Now, the easiest way to do this is to choose 99, 299, or 499 and introduce two people, one on each side that gets started at one of those levels. Now, you can see at the 99, that's just 3 CV short of 70. So at least 299 will qualify you on both sides, because 299 is 210 CV that you receive for a person getting started at that level. So if you got started at 99 and you introduce one person who got started at 299 on the left and one person who got started at 499 on the right, boom, you're qualified. But of course, you want to introduce more. Now let's talk about how to go star, because everything in this compensation plan is built around star. At star, the benefits that you receive right away is 15%. You also receive 2 levels of matching bonus. You also now get into the global bonus pool where 5% of all of the reorders are set aside every single month and paid out every quarter. Do you know in a previous company, you had to do 40,000 in volume to get the same benefits? And here you've only got to do 5,000 in volume. Do you see why Stars is really taking care of all those who never really had a lot of success in network marketing monetarily, and they're putting them in the forefront and saying, hey, no, we want you to shine. We want you to succeed. We want you to earn income right away. So let's talk about how to get there. And this is the structure. Remember, structure is more important than the volume. Structure is more important than the pen. The structure will allow you to maintain steady growth consistently, month after month after month. When I got this, I stopped chasing the check, and the check just came by default. I started to focus on the structure and helping people have a solid structure to their business so that not only their income could be stable, but so could mine, right? So here's what you need to do. Personally enroll 3 people on your left. Personally enroll 3 people on your right. Grow your team to a total of 24. Make sure everyone is following the 3-step Nspire enlightenment system that I went over, and make sure that they attend a focus group and the next Nspire event. Now, let me explain the philosophy and the principle. Remember, I said the principle and philosophy of building a large group is getting them in, keeping them in, and moving them along. Well, that principle is all in these 4 steps. Well, you got them in. You put in 6 people. Great, exciting. And you help them plug into the system. You help them, you got them in and you're keeping them in because now they understand it's bigger than them. And now you're moving them along by getting them to an event, making sure you do a focus group for them. So now you're in someone else's network. You're sharing the opportunity with more and more people. And here's what I know about this business. I believe it'll be longer in Nspire Network, but in network marketing in general, per se, people have a 72-hour shelf life, meaning that they're excited for 72 hours. And if they don't earn a commission or have some sort of success, they may start to wane and kind of wean themselves out of the picture. And then they're no longer to be found. And they're in the desert of network marketers that never made it, right? And you're looking at, you're probably wondering, where are they now? Well, that's why getting them in, keeping them in, and moving them along is so important. That's why the 3-step enlightenment system is so important. You'll be able to grow 6 people to 24 by plugging them into the system very easily. That's just all 6 of them getting 3, or a few people getting 4, one person getting 1, one person getting 2. Minimum, you want to help them get their dual right away. So if you just help all of them get their dual, more and more people will come from that. And so by plugging them into the system and showing them how easy it is, step 1, ask, step 2, show, and step 3, promote, how easy the system is. And then they're going to a focus group where testimonials are shared of how the product is really helping people. and then they've gone to an event and seen testimonials of it actually working, oh yes, you won't be able to, again, pry them out of the business with a 2x4. They'll become a lifer, because not only is the product working for them and somebody they know, not only is their testimonials of success that they're seeing, but now they've got their own testimonial, and now they're able to transfer that excitement and that belief, more importantly, to someone else. Now, here's how you actually earn commissions from the dual team. How does this break down? Because when I got started, I honestly didn't know. For 6 months, I was actually paid. I just knew if I showed the opportunity to enough people, that eventually this thing would populate itself. I want you to start off with a little bit more information than I did, which should raise your level of belief and your confidence in what you're doing. Now, in this diagram, I'm assuming you're a star consultant already. You're earning 15%. And as you can see here on your right, a builder package, $99 is 67 CV. Premium package, $499 is 351 CV. So as you introduce someone into the business and they got started at the Achiever package, now that's 210 CV that is in your binary. And you introduce someone who got started at the premium package, that's 351 CV that's in your binary. And they introduced someone who got started at the premium package. And she on your right introduced a gentleman who got started at a premium package. And the gentleman on your left, underneath you, introduced someone. Well, all this is going to be calculated at the end of the week on Sunday at midnight. It's going to be calculated for you. You don't have to go in your back office and start pulling out your calculator and finding out who went in and who did what. No, it will be all calculated for you. And they will total up the CV for the week. And then they will see where your rank is. And this is why you getting to star as quickly as possible could be very, very profitable, because now you're at 15% as opposed to 10. And then they actually break it down. They give you 7.5% from the left and 7.5% from the right, and they leave you with the difference. So your total is $104 or $105 and some change, right? And so now the beautiful thing is, but how many people did you introduce? You only introduced 2. Well, what if you introduce 6 and those 6 turn into 24? Well, I'm going to break that down, that's going to be $1,000 of income. But you see how this can grow? Imagine, you buying into the vision and you getting a group of people, not a large group initially, but a small group of maybe 6 or 7 or 10 that buy into the vision as well. But it took 20 people for you to introduce it to, for you to find 6 or 7 or 10 that bought into the vision. So you've got to go through the numbers. But once you go through the numbers quickly, this will have a mind of its own. That's why you see Mr. Damon Crump, Mr. Damon Coleman on the road like road warriors, because it's easier to build it fast than it is to build it slow. It can become very, very challenging to build it slow. And it could actually be, you could become very disgruntled because it's not growing fast enough. But it's never about the people in your group, and it's always about you. The speed of the group is determined by the speed of its leader. That's why I'm going to show you my schedule at the end, and you'll see I'm here, I'm there, I'm doing webinars, I'm in this state, I'm in this city, because I understand for 18 months, when we lay this on the line and build this foundation and plug everybody into the 3-step enlightenment, Nspire enlightenment system, you will have not only a very strong business built on a foundation of customers, but your income will be so rock solid that not only will you be written in the archives of network marketing journals, which is, a small group of people, but you'll be written in the business journals around the country and soon to be mark my words. The last time I said this to a group, some of them believed me and some of them didn't. And it just happens in that fashion. And we were in a company, we were at the beginning. I was a founding member, they were founding members. And I said, there were about 5 or 7 people in the room. I said, they're going to be writing about us in the business journals. Sure enough, 3.5 years later, network marketing periodical started talking about us. Five years later, business journals started talking about us, and that became $1 billion company in 6 years. This is going to happen a little bit faster than that. In fact, it's going to happen a whole lot faster than that because there's several factors that we didn't create that we're benefiting from. And that's why I'm just a little bit passionate about that and passionate about the success that you're going to have. Now, let's talk about the commissions of Going Star. And let me explain to you how we break this down. We always take the average because we don't know who's going to go where. Some people are going to get started at the 99 pack. Some people are going to get started at the 499 pack. So we take an average. We add all of those CV packages up, which is about 630. I think it's 627, 628, right? And we divide it by 3. Along with that, there's a fast start bonus that's associated with each pack. At the 99 pack, when you personally enroll someone at that level, you get $17.25. At the 499 pack, when you personally enroll someone at that level, you get $87.50. So if you add all of them up, that's $157.50, but you divide by 3, and that's the average that you'll be earning off of the group that you're going to build. So if you have 24 people in your group, well, and you personally enrolled 6 of them, right? 6 times 5250 is 315. If you have 24 people in your team, minimum, and the average of them got started at 210, well, that's 2,520 CV on both sides. At 15%, that would bring you to $378. And then there's a matching bonus, which is around 310, if not more, because you're getting 2 levels of matching bonus. A level on the people that you personally enrolled and the people they personally enrolled just for Going Star. So now your total that you earned that month that you went Star is $1,000. Now I've gotten the question, hey, Ramon, well, am I going to maintain that the next month? Well, let me be honest with you. As people have gotten involved, you're getting a higher percentage for them enrolling, a higher percentage of CV, fast start bonus. The only way to maintain that and to grow it is to teach one of those 24, 2 of those 24, 3 of those 24 how to do exactly what it is you did. But because the company is helping you out with recognition, because your team and the geographical location that you're in, one of the leaders in that market is helping you out with recognition, many of those 24 are going to want to do what you did, but only a few are going to do it. I got to prepare you for this. Only a few are going to put in the work that's necessary to do it. But that next month, you will have some people in your group Going Star for sure, as long as you're plugged into the system. Let me reiterate that again. As long as you're plugged into the system, you will not only have people in your group Going Star, but they'll run past you because of the recognition that we're going to do. By far, we've learned from some of the best in the industry of how to do recognition. And many of the leaders out there, the Kevin Harrisons, the Derek Browns, the Dr. Helen Delahouse's, they understand how important recognition is. And we are all working synergistically together. Many of the leaders, I'm so excited to be in business with. So many of these top professionals at the top of their game that are humble enough to say, let's do this the right way. That's what's exciting to be a part of. But these are the commissions that you'll earn from Going Star, the Irv Watsons of the world. Many, many leaders that are a part of this that I'm excited to be in business with. Now let's talk about how to go megastar. So you personally enrolled 3 on your left, 3 on your right. Let's add 7 more to each side. Right now you have a personally enrolled 10 on your left, and you personally enrolled 10 on your right. You personally enrolled. You grew your team to a total of 120. Well, how did you get to 120? Well, I just multiplied the 24 that were in your group, right? According to the number of stars that you're going to have on your team, which is by 5. And it comes up to about 120, right? Because the numbers are important. The structure is important. The numbers are important as well. The number of people coming in. Why are the numbers important, Ramon? Well, you got to think about it like this. If you were building a customer base of any sort with any product, wouldn't you want to know how many new customers you had? How many new people that were using your product every single month? How about every single week? What about every single day? Do you know I can go back to a previous company and I can tell you from the time I got started to the time I departed and I resigned, which is a total of 7 years, how many new people came into my business every single month, what my volume was every single month, and who I was working with to help them achieve their goals, which will ultimately help me achieve my goal. You see, I just didn't get to 7 figures and multiple 7 figures by happenstance. I learned how to pay attention to the numbers, because if you don't know the numbers, you can't grow your numbers. And I paid attention to the structure, and I paid attention to the mindset, what moves people, what motivates people. See, people will come in to Nspire Network for the income, but they'll stay because of the recognition. They'll stay because of the camaraderie. They'll stay because of the vision. They won't stay just for the money. That's why moving them along is just as important as bringing them in. But now you've grown your team to 120, right? You helped 5 people on your team in 3 separate legs. Well, Ramon, what do you mean 3 separate legs? Well, 3 people removed from you. You introduced me to the business. I'm one of your legs. You introduced Sheila Washington, out of the great state of Nevada, Las Vegas to be exact, to your business. That's going to be a powerful leg. And you introduce Irv Watson out of the great state of New York, Buffalo to be exact, to your business. Well, now those are 3 separate legs. In one of those legs, it doesn't matter how deep. It doesn't have to be the person you personally enrolled. You want to have 5 stars spread out over at least 3 legs. You can do it in 5 legs if you want. It doesn't matter. But you want to have 5 stars spread out over 3 legs, and make sure everyone is following the Nspire Enlightenment 3-step system. Are you seeing a theme here? Everything is tied to the system. Every single structure, every single thing we do is tied to the system. Why is that, Ramon? Why is everything tied to the system? Well, would Coca-Cola be as successful as if it didn't have a system, a methodology of success? With Facebook, Microsoft, any one of these companies that we know are billion-dollar-plus brands, Apple, if they didn't have a system, listening to that autobiography that Mr. Crump recommended years ago, and listening to it over and over and over again, and seeing how meticulous, how ferocious Steve Jobs focused and to the detail was, and the system that he put in place, man, I know we're on to something special. Now, the structure of legend. Now you have 25 personally sponsored on your left and 25 personally sponsored on your right, and you grew your team to 1,000. When you grow your team to 1,000, yeah, you got a 6-figure income. 6-figure per year, minimum 6-figure per year. I know the numbers. And you've helped 200 people on your team in 10 separate legs go star. Oh, you not only got a 6-figure income, it's fair to say you possibly have a 6-figure per month income, 200 stars. You've identified 20 leaders. How do you do that? Identify 20 leaders who have 10 stars in their business. 20 people on your team, 20 leaders, 20 people who are as much a part of the vision as you are. 20 people who you don't have to call and remind them to get on, the Monday Night Institute training call. You don't have to call and remind them to get on our Tuesday night team call or the Wednesday company update call. They're already on, and they have their team on, right? And again, make sure everyone is following the Nspire Enlightenment 3-step system. Now, how do you go Legend Dynasty? Well, you've got 50 personally enrolled on your left and 50 personally enrolled on your right, and you have a team now of 5,000 total on your entire team. And you have 600 people on your team in 10 separate legs that went star. 600. It's not a lot. It's just 20 leaders who have 30 stars in their business. 20 leaders who have 30 stars each in their business. And make sure everyone is following the Enlightenment 3-step system. But make sure you keep the main thing the main thing. Help people go star. Help them go star. You help more and more people go star, and you build a star manufacturing plant, you'll go megastar. You'll go legend. You'll go Legend Dynasty. How fast will determine how fast you can help people go star. How fast you can identify who to work with and who you know to plug more into the system. How fast you can identify, where you're working, what city, what state, and that's right now, that's by, who has enrolled or who's enrolling people at the $35 pack. Now, there are some people that are waiting. They're holding applications. We want to make sure that the product is available and whatever, and that's their prerogative. But you need to be laser focused on your target, whatever that is. If it's, Megastar, if it's Rockstar, if it's Diamond, whatever your target is, make sure you identify who you're helping going star and how many stars they have in their leg and so on and so forth. And you'll crush your goal. Break everything down into stars, which is 5,000 in volume. So you divide 5,000 in volume to wherever your destination is. If you're driving from here, and I'm in California, and I'm driving from Sacramento to Los Angeles, it's about 400 plus miles, right? My GPS will tell me the time that I'm due to arrive. It will tell me how many miles I'm going to drive. I can even break down how much gas it's going to, take for me to get there. And I can calculate how much that would cost based off, the cost and price of gasoline if I wanted to, right? Well, you need to do the same exact thing if your destination is Diamond. Diamond is 100,000 in volume. Well, how many stars do you need? A good friend of mine, I've got a lot of respect for. She's a superstar in this industry. It's an honor and a privilege to be in business with her, Veronica Garcia. You'll be hearing a lot about her and from her. She's building a very large team. She, without me telling her, she broke down already what it took to go, I think, in a legend dynasty, how many stars she needed. She broke that down before we even had, a call. And that's an identifying factor. That's who who to work with. Someone that says, you know what, I'm going to be a self-starter. I know what I need to do. Just get out of my way. Point me in the right direction. If I need help, I'll let you know. Now, you're going to have few of those people and more people you need to develop. And in this business, you'll have two types of leaders. You'll have a leader who's self-motivated. Pretty much they got it on their own. And there will be a lead source, people that you need to work through to find other leaders that are willing to be developed, that are willing to inquire about help, that are willing to open their home up and do meetings. Not everybody's going to open up their home and do meetings. You got to be prepared for that mentally and emotionally. I just want to prepare you. Now, PS3 is not a video game. It's a part of a philosophy and a principle of how to stay with a high level of activity. And you want a high level of activity because, again, the philosophy and the principle that I'm teaching you today is the speed of the group is determined by the speed of its leader. And so the P stands for peak interest, and that's the show in our Nspire Enlightenment system. Show, and how you do that is by, and how if you're on pace to hitting your target is how many people every day do you have watching the video. I'm sending that video out every day. And you want to have a minimum, a minimum of sending it out to 2 people. This is the first opportunity where literally a video has moved people into action. Like, we had to be creative in other companies. Our videos were compelling, but it didn't move people into purchasing. It didn't move people into actually joining just from the video. No, it was a video, a call, a presentation. There were several different exposures that had to take place for one person to make a decision. I've had multiple people make a decision off of just a video. So are you effectively using the video? How many people are you showing the video to? Step number 2 is show the plan. And showing the plan is the video, right? Using the video, doing your own focus group. Beautiful thing about some of the phenomenal people that I'm working with that I'm excited to be in business with, like the Linda Gallardos, the Jonna Betancourts, is they're doing focus groups without me, and they don't even have product. And that's the beautiful thing about the video we have and painting vision. Do you know that many opportunities that were born in the very beginning, in the formulation phase, they didn't have the actual product? All they had was an idea, a concept. Many of them didn't even have a blueprint plan. They didn't even have a business plan. They just had a vision inside their mind of where they were going, and people bought the vision. Some people didn't, but people bought the vision. You have a professional video. I would be inviting people over to my home and just showing the video and preparing them. If you don't have your own vision, I would share with them the vision of the company, which is to have 1 million customers within its first 12 months. and do over $200 million in revenue this year. Do your own focus groups. And in the three-way call, and we talked about the principle of a three-way call, how to do an effective three-way call by edifying your upline first. And you want to call them and get a time. As your leaders are traveling to these other cities, you want to be edifying them. I have one of the top earners or a top professional, the Susie Guillory Chipmans that are out in Denver. If you're working with her, or whoever you're working with, so many different leaders that are in this market. The Bernadette Spriggs, you want to edify them, and all edification is saying some nice things about someone that your prospect has never met before. They don't know them, and they won't have a level of respect until you share with them some of their accomplishments, both in the business world as well as in this industry. If they, had success. If they haven't had success, you can attach them to the vision of the company. Well, how do you do that, Ramon? Well, every one of us is a part of this movement that will become a billion-dollar brand. Every one of us is a part of this movement that will, acquire 1 million customers within his first year. And how you attach a person to that vision that you're edifying is, let's say, Miss Sheila Washington out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And I have a prospect here. His name is Irv. And Irv has never met Miss Washington. Well, I'm going to let Irv know, Irv, I'm working with an incredible young lady that is pioneering a movement that will attract 1 million customers to our company. But more importantly, we'll do over $200 million in revenue. And it's partly because of her vision. She's a major contributor to that. And this is someone I have a high level of respect, but she's extremely busy. And I don't know, what her availability is, but if you give me 2 times that you're available, I'll see if one of those will fit. But I want her to share the vision with you and maybe answer some questions that I couldn't answer. And that's how you build a higher level of respect for the opportunity and a higher level of respect for your upline. But what also happens when Miss Washington comes on the line, she's going to re-edify you as being one of the leaders, as being one of the pioneers, and it gives a higher level of respect for you and what you're doing, because you can't self-promote yourself to your prospect. You can't beat your own chest. But if you edify someone else that you're working with, they can. And that's why edification is critically important to building a large group. Now, showing the plan, and I told you I was going to dive into this briefly. If you are aspiring to be a 6-figure earner, you need to learn how to do an effective demo. And the best that I've seen as far as breaking it down on what he's doing and why he's doing it is Mr. Damon Coleman's video on YouTube. The best. In fact, I was blessed that we were able to drive back from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, and I recorded him because if you guys saw one of my first, I've been doing focus groups, but in front of a large group. If you saw my focus group in Nevada, there was a great experience, right? It was great that I got the experience and the opportunity to do it, but I learned so much. And he was sharing with me, hey, Ramon, here are some things that you want to, work on. And in that video on YouTube, and you just, type in Damon Coleman and Nspire, I believe just type in Damon Coleman Nspire Network, and it'll pull it up. He breaks it down of, how to, what he says when he first introduces the pad, after he pours the 50 milliliters and the explanation of the 50 milliliters, and then what he does afterwards. That's very important. And so if you're looking to do some focus groups yourself and do a demonstration, I would highly recommend watching it. But if you're looking to become a 6-figure earner, you're going to need to do some focus groups on your own. And it's not that hard to do. And, you can look at, if you were in Las Vegas, Nevada, you saw, one of my first 10. I've gotten a lot better since then, because anything that you do more of, you should get better. And I'm one of those individuals that I've got to be at my best. And so I was beating myself up, looking at what I needed to improve on. And, the 2 best in the industry that I have seen are Mr. Damon Coleman and Mr. Damon Crump. Now, for men, I send Mr. Damon Crump's YouTube video. For women, I send, depending on, because you know your prospects, you know your people, and you know their attention span, depending on their attention span. And sometimes it can be based off of ethnicity. It can be based off of cultural differences. You need to take that into account. It can be based off of their socioeconomics, their level of success in business, their level of success in their career path. And so you got to put that into the equation. And if I know someone has a short attention span, I'm not going to send them the full cherished video. They're not going to watch it. They're going to tune out after 3 minutes. But the 5-minute cherished video is very effective. Now, if I know someone has the attention span that's going to watch the whole video, like I've sent it out to many people, I'm going to send them the full cherished video. And for a new distributor, I would send them the How to Go Star training that I posted on YouTube after they're in the business, so that they understand how to go star. And right away, they're setting their goal on going star. And so that you're getting them to an event, they understand the whole process, they've seen the system over and over again. And remember, repetition is the mother of all skill. Now, we talked about structure plus numbers plus volume plus pen equals a big check, but I wanted you to see it. Structure plus numbers plus the pen plus volume plus the pen equals big income. That's why these are the numbers right here. And I'm going to briefly go through this. These are the numbers. This is what it takes, numerically to get to megastar, numerically to get to star. 15 people getting started at $4.99. Those are the numbers. Don't focus on the numbers, but know your numbers. There's 72 people or 374 people, right? To go icon. What's it going to take? It's going to take a total of 1,400 people. We'll go over 1,400 getting started at the $4.99, or almost 7,500 getting started at the 99 pack, right? Or what does it take to go, numerically? Legends Dynasty, right? It's going to take almost 8,600 people getting started at the, $4.99 pack, or almost 45,000 people getting started at the 99 pack. Those are just the numbers. Remember, don't focus on the numbers, but you got to know your numbers in order to grow them. Focus on the structure that we talked about earlier, right? And then look at real income. I believe you'll have at least 2 customers in every household, minimum. So that's $2.84 or $2.80 that you're bringing in. Let's say you had 100 customers. What about 2,500? What about over time you built a customer base of over 100,000 customers? It's 2.8 million per month. And with the product that we have that needs to be used every single month for certain, unless someone is pregnant or they had, of course, a surgical procedure. And even after that, they're still incontinent. So they're using our panty liners, right? You're going to have real customers. Set your sights high. Set your goals high. Start doing events and aligning yourself with women's organizations. Start looking at doing your 5K run in your city, in your geographical location. Like we are looking at it, and we submitted the plans to Mr. Crump already for July of 2018 to have it in Sacramento. We're getting prepared. We want over 5,000 people in attendance. Yeah, that's our number. That's our target, right? But what's next? Do your own focus group. Get to a focus group in your area. Have at least 2 people a day watching the video. Get qualified for the first leadership retreat and work together with all the leaders in your area, regardless of what team. This should be number 1, although it's number 5. It's so important because social proof, that creates more success than you can imagine. And the reason why I've had success in the industry wasn't necessarily because I was the only team in that area. It's because I was working with every single person that was in that market to help build a humongous team